It has been a week I'm drinking as much as I drink. So I was trying to decide between a Malbec, Slappy T's here. Hi, buddy. I pulled some people from another chat. I like to go into other broadcasters' chats and just stir up some love in the chat and maybe bring some people over. And so when you see Penny Whitbroad in other chats, that's me, Nurse Penny from the Salty Pot. And it's funny because people always say, boy, there's a lot of echo. People always say, from the Salty Cracker Show? And I'm like, yes, as though I'm some kind of sidekick on the Salty Cracker Show. You hit the like on the way in. See, that's why I love you people. Even without wine. I love it. I love it. I love it. Who else is here? Deshaun Long. Well, welcome to you. That's a new name. This feels like it's way too high, doesn't it? Let's lower it. Get it back out of the way a little bit. If you can't hear, let me know. But anyway, it has been 787. It's great to see you. I'm trying to imagine what a person named 787 might look like. I'm getting my initial vibe is like, who's the tall robot? Is that CP30 or is that R2D2? R2D2 is the little one, right? I think R2D2 is the little one. Hi, Coffin. It has been okay. Wait. So, what kind of wine am I drinking? And I don't know what this is going to be like because I have never drunk wine. Is that right? Drank? Boeing planes. Oh, that's funny. We have a joker in our midst. I have never drank wine while doing a podcast. But what the hell? It's been one of those weeks, so let's just do it, right? Hold on, let's move this a little bit. I just have a ton of echo. That's better. So I was trying to decide between a Cabernet, a Coppola Cabernet, or a Coppola Merlot. And I love a good Merlot. But I went with a Malbec. They're not crazy sweet. I love Argentinian Malbecs. This one is Uno brand. And let me tell you, it's good. I've only had a couple sips, but I'm really liking it. So yay. They're pretty dry. Malbecs are pretty dry. They're not as dry as as a Merlot, but they're a little sweeter. It's kind of plum dark. It's good with chocolate. It's good. You want to know what I'm eating with it? Hi, Debbie. I'm drinking wine. I just started, so if I'm stupid, it's not the wine. It's just me. So I have oatmeal raisin cookies. These are just the Kroger brand. They're so good. Screw dinner, right? Don says I have to eat something if I'm going to drink. I have cookies. So I have just the generic Kroger oatmeal raisin. And then I have the Christie's Deluxe oatmeal raisin. I actually think I like the generic a little better, but I thought, hell girl, it's been a week. Get yourself some fancy cookies. Look at those things. They're so thick. And I just like oatmeal raisin better than I like chocolate. I know. Judge me if you will. As long as you're going to judge me, I also like Nickelback. And if you're not good, I will make you listen to the Rockstar song. Because I'm that much of a bitch today. It has just been hell week here. So, oatmeal raisin cookies and wine. I know. But really, what doesn't go with wine, especially red wine? I have not had red wine in years. We're going to probably keep it to that glass because I get stupid really easy. So Monday, let me just share with you the weirdness that has gone on at this house. So Monday, actually Sunday night, we're sitting on the couch and I noticed Steve is over in the entryway on the rug. Steve, our cat, Steve Martin. Yes, that's Steve Martin. And he's got a little bug or something and he's pulling the rug back and I'm like, oh, he's got a little bug over there. And I just didn't worry about it because I don't know, because I was being lazy, I guess. I just didn't go, well, Don went over there and he didn't see anything. And so, but Steve kept on with the bugs and now we know, trust Steve, right? You want to know why my hair is, I'll tell you in a minute why my hair is so dark. So Monday morning I get up and I had noticed while I was sitting there, this kind of dirt on the ceiling where the ceiling meets the wall. And I thought, well, that's weird. That must be a cobweb or something. I'm going to go get a broom and get up there and clean that up. So I walk over and I see this like fluttering, probably covering over half of this rug, and it's a big rug. And I thought, what the devil is that? And so I see that whatever these things are that are on the ceiling are coming out of this little crack. Oh, I'm so grossed out already. And they're on the top of the door frame, and then they're falling down onto the rug. So I get up closer, and there are these little winged animals, insects that look like tiny ants or something, but I knew they weren't flying ants because I know what flying ants look like. So I take a picture of it. I reverse image search it. Are you ready? Hold on to your panties. Are you ready? If you're not wearing panties, grab whoever is nearby that has pants. Don't do that. You'll get in trouble. Termites, flying, swarming termites. I about shit. I was dying. I'm texting Don and I'm like, look at this, look at these things. And I'm sending pictures. And I don't know why, after how long my phone has known me, that it thinks when I type Fucking that I mean ducking. I never mean ducking. I would never type ducking into a sentence or by itself, ever, ever. It will always be the F word if I'm typing it right. And I'm like, effing flying termites. Oh, no, they're not mayflies. They're termites. And so Don's like, okay, go outside, pull all of the furniture back from the front porch, go downstairs, get the poison. And I'm thinking, this does not sound like a job for Nurse Penny. See, I attend to anything that is bleeding, injured, that sort of thing. If we need groceries, if the house needs cleaning, laundry, Don needs his lunch made. I'm not bug girl. I am not. If something has a cord on it, I have told Don, I'm not even required to read the instructions on that. If it requires some sort of electrical impulse to operate, then he has to do that. That's just our agreement. If he's ever bleeding, if he ever takes a medication for he's going to be so upset. If he ever takes a medication for kidney stones that causes his manacles to hang down to his knees, I'm the person who reassures you when that happens. Brown dog, hi. And so he's like, get the poison out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to have to man up here because there's bugs. And if they had been crunchy bugs, I'd have been doomed. I would have left the house. I can't do crunchy bugs. And so he's like, oh, forget it. I'll just come home. And he wasn't upset with me. He just was like upset too. And he wanted to come home. And so I'm sitting there watching them and I'm killing them on the floor, right? Because I don't know where they're going to go. Like, what are these termites up to? Termite business, I assume. And you're not termite businessing in my house because that is so messed up. Simple green on all openings to your house. Okay, well, good. Don has put some kind of poisonous thing that could potentially kill us all. Which I'm okay with. I'm willing to take the risk of death. Okay, it is balls hot. Hold on. I gotta get the fan on here. Be right back. I knew it would end up getting hot in here. That's going to help or not. We have to turn the window fan on. It's been weird temperatures here this week. It's been 80 and superhuman. Today it's 60 and superhuman. So I can't figure out how to get my temperature straight. But they're termites. And so Mr. Whitbrook comes home and poisons the hell out of them. And they stop coming out of the wall. He calls the termite guy. And he's like, okay, I'll be out. I think he's coming out May 2nd or something. That's a long time. But I've been watching to make sure there's no more. And now we know, always trust Steve. Okay, so termites, right? So after the termite incident, I realize I have another kidney stone, right? So I go to the urologist and he's like, I don't know if it's kidney stones. I mean, it couldn't be kidney stones so soon. And I'm like, why could it not be kidney stones so soon? Because you've met me, right? And he was just like, I don't know what it is. Ask your doctor to look for something else. And I said, well, could you suggest? This is the state of our medical care. This is why I'm telling you this, because Vicki made it. Hi, Vicki. Because medical care is largely shit these days. It just is. I'm just so over it, right? So I'm like miserable, right? So I go on to the ER. Now this ER is in the same system that all of my medical records are in, right? So I go in, my blood pressure is 210 over 113. So they're not letting me go home, right? And I am just dying. and lived in a tropical area, and Simple Green works and isn't poisonous to people. I mean, I would drink a little poison if I thought it would kill the bugs, but I will let Mr. Whitbroad know about Simple Green. So I go to the ER, they do a CAT scan, and of course so I give them my whole medical history, which is also in my file. I mean, this isn't the first time I've been to the ER for kidney stones, as many of you well know. So I get home, and you know how they give you that big packet of paper that's like on every condition you don't have: depression, smoking. I've never smoked. I'm not depressed. I don't have a history of depression. But that's mostly what is in this paperwork. It's just BS paperwork that they have to give you, because medicine isn't medicine anymore. It's just checking boxes. Gypsy Princess, you're starting at the beginning and playing catch up. We just started, love. You're not far behind. So I get home, right? And I've got kidney stones. I get home and I look through this medical report, and I look at all my labs, right? And I find in my labs that they did a pregnancy test, which I think is super interesting, since I told them, and it's in my chart, that I had a hysterectomy at 32. How the hell I would be pregnant, I have no idea. But it gets better. Not only could I have been pregnant with no ovaries or uterus, my appendix has apparently grown back. They did a CT scan, and I'm reading through this CT scan, and it says kidney stones, left kidney, blah, blah, blah. It mentions my other surgeries, that I don't have a gallbladder, that I've had gastric bypass surgery, that I don't have ovaries or a uterus, which is funny because they just pregnancy screened me, right? And it says appendix is visualized and within normal limits. And I just looked it down. I said, hot damn, baby, I have grown my appendix back. What the hell? How do I suddenly have an appendix? Hey, AJR. So then I had an ultrasound at the doctor's office before I went on to the ER, right? And so I read the ultrasound, and the ultrasound indication for, like, why did you have an ultrasound, says history of renal failure, kidney failure. Never had kidney failure in my whole life. This is all one illness. This is how many things they got wrong with one illness. So I'm like, what the absolute hell? So I call the doctor's office. I know. I told him, I said, you just need to do an autopsy and see if you can figure it out. I mean, we know what it was. It's kidney stones. But I called the doctor's office and I said, hey, you guys had me have a ultrasound done, and you put in there that the indication for the ultrasound was history of renal failure, and I've never had renal failure. So they had to go in and fix it. Well, I have not yet called the emergency room and said, hey, you guys did a CT scan, and in the CT scan you said that my appendix was visualized and within normal limits, and I'm just curious, like, what is that? Because I had my appendix out at 23. This is what's going on. I don't understand what gastric bypass is, really. So I had a gastric sleeve surgery for weight loss years and years ago. Gosh, it is hot. It's the wine. The wine's getting me. And I started having really bad ulcers in my throat and in my stomach. And so they had to do a gastric bypass to get rid of the GERD so that I wouldn't have any more ulcers. It's a weight loss surgery, but I had it because the GERD was eating my vocal cords. Who would you go to? Dr. Kevorkian, right? This is like a main hospital system throughout the country. I just was amazed. So my brother, who I have guardianship of, goes to the doctor. He's having no problems, right? Well, first his caregiver calls me because he's disabled and he has a caregiver. His caregiver calls me and says, hey, the doctor's office just called about his labs and said his liver enzymes are extremely elevated and he needs to come in today, this morning, for an ultrasound. And so I get into his portal and I'm like, what? Extremely elevated. And I look. Okay, are you ready for this? I want you guys to start praying for John now. His AST, there's three things they measure: SGOT, AST, and ALT. His AST is 1 point over normal. 1 point. 1. It's not like potassium. If your potassium is just a little over normal or a little under normal, that's serious. AST and ALT, like, we don't worry until those are 2 to 5 times over normal. I've seen patients in the thousands, right? It's the first number, the AST is supposed to be no higher than 40. His is 41. The ALT is supposed to be no higher than 44. It's 48. They ordered an ultrasound for this. And so, we went ahead and did it. And they're like, well, we had just noticed it had been up a little intermittently, which is just shocking to me. Yeah, I do intermittent fasting. It's just shocking to me because he's on cholesterol medicines, which cause elevations in liver enzymes. He's on diabetes meds, which cause elevation in liver enzymes. And he's only elevated by 1 in 4. And this perpetuated his caregiver having to bring him 2 hours before his appointment to get an ultrasound. And they don't live in town. It's just, it's absolutely, there's no hope. There's no hope. Okay, so wait a minute. We talked about the termites in the appendix and the pregnancy test and kidney failure. Oh, and so I get done. Oh, no. So while I'm trying to so they decide at this visit that they're going to reduce one of his sleep medications because it can interact with another medication he's on and cause serotonin syndrome, which can kill you. He's been on both of these meds for over 20 years. And the doctor said, well, they said he was sleeping well, so we figured it would be okay to reduce it. I'm like, do you think maybe he's sleeping well on that dose and you shouldn't mess around with the dose? It's got no side. This is just like a pharmacy thing where they're like, these two things could interact. Well, a lot of things could interact, but 20 years of evidence would tell us they're not interacting. And I'm like, no, we're not jacking with this stuff. That's stupid. What do people do who don't know anything about medicine? Like, if you're not a nurse, how do you even protect yourself from this craziness? I don't know how you do it. I had an SGOT test when I used to shoot up steroids. Oh, yeah, I bet it was elevated. I found out I need a colonoscopy all the way into your stomach. I think they just use a fire hose, run the camera up that. No, I'm just kidding. They'll knock you out. Don't you fret. You'll be, the prep will be the worst part of it for you, I promise. So, yeah, there's that. So I get everything done, right? The cats are acting like complete maniacs today. I'm trying to get all of this back and forth with the doctor done. The doctor's trying to call. I'm trying to call the doctor back because the phone call drops. And I've got hair color in my hair. And I'm like, shit, I need to rinse my hair out. But I don't want to miss this call because, you don't want to miss the golden moment that the doctor calls because you're never going to get them back on the phone. You guys know this, right? So I'm waiting and I'm calling back and trying to get back through to them. And the timer keeps going off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my hair's going to be black. It's not actually black. It's just, we'll call it chestnut. The insurance doesn't like paying for an anesthesia. No, we always anesthetize people for colonoscopies. We do not do those without drugs. Yeah, they want everybody knocked out for those. They were testing me for pregnancy when I was 15. Well, that's not unusual, though. I've had kids much younger than that come up pregnant. Not my own kids, but, in medical practice, I've seen that. So I get all this done. I finally get the hair stuff washed out of my hair. My hair's super dark. And I'm wanting to do a wine show. I've already announced I'm going to be doing a show where I drink wine. And so I have to go get the wine because I'm not drinking that janky sweet wine that's in the fridge. I don't know why I've not dumped it out yet. It's a Moscato. And I liked it the first time I drank it, and then I didn't like it in the house. There are no good cats. I actually prefer dogs, but it is easier with our lifestyle of camping and stuff to have cats. Don prefers cats. I just prefer dogs. That's just me. So I'm driving to get the wine and I got to hustle, right? Because I have to get wine and I got to get cookies. And, that's going to take a little minute. And all the idiots are out at this time of day because the kids are out of school. People are getting off work. And it looks just sexy. Thank you, brown dog. And so I'm listening to Sean Hannity, which I would never normally listen to, but I listen to talk radio when I'm out and about earlier. I'm just not usually out and about this time of day. And Sean Hannity is talking about some guy who set himself on fire in New York outside of where Trump is having his trial. And yesterday I watched videos of these people who had put their arms through these tubes and linked themselves together so that they could block a bridge. And I think the answer to this is to go back to natural consequences. I don't know how old you guys are. On fire, you're very sweet. When we were kids, my mom taught us, and every kid I know knew this as well. So their moms or dads taught them that if you play in the road, you're going to get hit by a car. And there was never any, we'll get that SOB who's driving that tall truck. We'll, we'll, all traffic should stop for you. It was just understood that it would be a natural consequence that if you played in the road or were in a road inappropriately, you would get hit by a car and get smushed like a watermelon, and that would be on you. And my dad said that is God's way of thinning the herd of stupid people. And so we all knew this, and I'm betting everybody in this chat knows this. My doc wife, best friends with my wife's sister. I'm lucky to have a doc that actually, yes, you are lucky to have a doctor that actually knows you. I agree, dogs do rule. No victimhood. And you don't get to be a victim like on purpose. Sure, you can be a victim on accident. Somebody could attack you. I mean, any number of things could happen on accident. But if you do it on purpose, you're not a victim. So I'm just like, if you are blocking a road, at some point, people are going to have enough and they're going to run your dumb ass over. And you got it coming. I'm sorry, you've got it coming. You are so stupid. And you cannot continue to exist in normal society with us anymore. I mean, what is it that you think you're going to accomplish by blocking a road? Whatever your point is, I'm going the other way, no matter what it is. Like if your point was, everybody should have sex on Fridays, which is something I could definitely be like, yeah, that's a good rule. I'm not having sex on Fridays just because you blocked the road and you're an idiot and you inconvenienced everybody. And if you think that's a good idea, maybe it's something I shouldn't do. You look good in red. Thank you. So they were showing where they were like having to drill down and cut cement and stuff to get these people that had glued these poles through these, these tubes through these like metal barrels and then poured cement in them. And I'm like, you know what solves that? Water. Just throw them right over the bridge into the water. Let them tread for as long as they can and watch them bob up and down until they stop bobbing up and down. You're too stupid to live. So when I was going to college here, when I was going to college in Richmond, Kentucky, you would get a ticket if you didn't cross at the crosswalk. And I thought, how have we gotten to college age? I mean, even the kids, I was a non-traditional student. But even the kids, like, how have you gotten to college age and you can't get across the street without getting, and people got hit all the time. And I'm like, what is wrong? Like, if you're so stupid that you can't cross a street without getting hit by a car, it's kind of like if you have a rabid dog, it's time to go. I just think like we shouldn't be funding a college education for you if you can't cross a street. And I don't mean to be like the mean girl or whatever, but that's my take on that. So this guy apparently, I agree, sex on Friday nights, all right. This guy sets himself on fire as some form of, yes, exactly, Patty, I miss your face. This guy sets himself on fire, and I have not, it's like a 2,300 word manifesto, which I'm absolutely going to read, because I want to know what's going on with that guy. I just am curious, like, what, do they still have Darwin Awards? I don't know, but if they don't, we should restart that. Like the Nobel Peace Prize, the Darwin Award. Jess, I'm trying to get back to your comment here. It won't. Put down all the dummies. I love Nurse Penny. I'm just like, so you thought this out, right? You didn't just impulsively set yourself on fire. You wrote a really long essay on whatever it was that you were pissed off about that has to do with Trump, I suppose. I don't know for sure. But like it had to take time to write that out, to get to the point where you were like, you know what, that Trump, I tell you what, I'm going to start working on a manifesto. What's going on in your house? Do you not have a job or a dog or cats termites? I mean, maybe they should have our lives and they wouldn't have this kind of time to be thinking, you know what I need to do? I need to write a damn manifesto. And it gets worse. So the person writes, you know how like if you're mad at somebody, you can, I used to do this. I used to write letters to my ex-husband and then I would burn them and it would make me feel better. I also used to throw eggs at trees until I thought it might really be traumatizing the birds to see that. He was an environmental nuthead. Okay. And he set himself on fire. So he writes this whole manifesto, and this hasn't quenched his wrath at all. Like it hasn't settled him down. He hasn't been like, wow, now that I read that, it seems like a little over the top. I think I'll have some wine and oatmeal cookies. No, because he doesn't watch my show. See, had he watched my show, he would be not crispy fried today, right? I mean, I don't know if he lived. If he did live, he wouldn't be in a burn unit today because he would have just gone out and gotten oatmeal raisin cookies and wine or watched me do that and felt better. But no, he writes this whole manifesto and then he's like, you know what? This doesn't feel like enough. I feel like I need some other form of protest. I mean, what? I've seen people outside with signs. I mean, I could go down to the Kinko's and get some signs made. Yeah, I'm going to get some signs made. That sounds like a good... Wait a minute. I could block a bridge. Yes, that's like the new thing. They're blocking bridges. This is great. I could pour tomato sauce on a priceless work of art. Wait, he's laying in bed in the middle of the night and he's like, wait, I got it. I'm going to go to where the Trump trial is and I'm going to set myself on fire. And then he went back to sleep and was like, oh, finally, I have a plan. And then he woke up in the morning and he bought all the stuff. Meant refreshments? What? Fourth ex-wife was an RN. She said RN meant refreshments and narcotics. I have never heard that, and I've been a nurse a long time. They said he tasted like chicken. I'm so... Like you can't just immediately thought create yourself in that place. You got to pack up all your stuff, right? You got to get your manifesto. Maybe he left that at home. I don't know. He had to get all these pamphlets together. He had some kind of pamphlets with him. So he had to get all the pamphlets together in whatever flammable liquid he was going to use and his matches and, a drink or a little snack because, it could get to be a long day while you're waiting to set yourself on fire. He had to do all of these, and at no point did he say to himself, you know what? I don't know. I mean, like, burning alive sounds like a bad idea. Never did this guy think this. Like, don't you wonder, did he ever think, this is really going to hurt? I might not die and might end up in a burn unit with 3rd-degree burns. I mean, it is, as far as I understand, from being a nurse, I've never worked in a burn unit, but I have always been told that a burn is the most painful injury, especially serious, a lot of your body burns, is the most serious pain you can endure. I mean, and I've done we had a lady one time, a little old lady, and she had been out to eat with her husband for breakfast, and they didn't put the lid on her coffee all the way. And so she spilled the coffee and it went down into her crotch, got her lady bits and got the insides of her thighs. And she had serious, serious burns, was in the burn unit. And when she came out, I had to go over 3 times a day and do these dressing changes. And they would not give her anything other than Lortab. And I said, I won't do the dressing changes unless you give her some liquid sublingual morphine. This is crazy. She is in agony. I mean, like, past the fat burns, like, so, and on your lady bits. And this doctor was giving me a hard time. I said, I tell you what, you come over here and let me set your nuts and your penis on fire until it burns through to the fat. And then let me come do your dressing changes. And you tell me you don't need some liquid morphine. Give me a break. And of course they ordered it. I know. Isn't that terrible? Absolutely terrible. Yes. The oats and the raisins are incredible together. This one is prettier, but I mean, this one has golden raisins and roasted beaver. Exactly. I'm going to treat roasted beaver with no morphine. That's just mean. We had one doctor, you guys, that I cannot remember what surgery he was doing on these ladies. I don't remember if it was some kind of sling procedure for urinary incontinence or what it was, but we would get a lot of like really older ladies in that would have this procedure done, like 70 to 90. And this doctor would insist that we teach these women how to self-cath themselves, in and out cath. Hey, G.W. Jones, in and out cath themselves before they could go home. Instead of just putting an indwelling catheter in them, having them seen in the office in a couple days, do some bladder training, see if you can get that catheter out of them. Can you imagine being 70 to 90 years old? And it's not like you can see that hole, you have to stick it in, right? And trying to do that by feel as a little old arthritic lady who just had surgery. And I would get so mad at this doctor. I'm like, look, I've done this catheter education with this woman 4 times. She does not have the dexterity to do this. Can we please send her home with an indwelling catheter and see her back in the office in 2 days? And then start bladder training. We can set up home health. It wasn't like we were going to leave it in for weeks and months, maybe weeks, but not months. It just made me so mad. I'm like, what kind of monster are you? Some little 90-year-old lady who can barely sit herself up in the bed. We're having to turn her and pull her up in the bed. But she's going to be able to double over, get a good look at her hoo-ha, and stick a catheter up into her urethra. Jerk. I do need to be. You know what, though? The thing is if I were a doctor, they would make me do all these stupid things. Oats and honey or rum and raisin. Oh, both of those sound really, really good. That is some smooth wine. It's so good. Wait. I have to see what Patty said. But did he at least bring the beer to the TDS barbecue? Well, see, now, Brown Dog, look, if you're making raisin cookies, the way that the raisins become magic is you soak them in vanilla. So you soak them in vanilla until they plump back up, and then you put them in the raisins. And they're so good. And I can tell that these raisins have been soaked. I won't eat regular oatmeal raisin cookies that have those dried up little buggy looking raisins. That's a mess. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories for you guys today. And most of them are stupid. I warned you. What is that from? I warned you, but did you listen? Oh, it's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. About the deadly rabbit. If you guys haven't seen that movie, you should watch it. I have very much guy humor. Like I like action movies, and I can't stand chick flicks. Don loves them. I keep telling him I'm going to frisk him one day and find his tiny little vagina. There is no good reason. Look, Brown Dog, I swear to God, I'll come over there. Watch, he'll probably live like down the street from me or something. It'll be I'll set myself on fire in front of your house. Don't you mess with me. All right. What wine is it? I am drinking. This is, it looks like that. Isn't that a nice looking bottle? I like that. I have my own little lid on there to keep it fresh. Uno Malbec 2020 from Argentina. It's so good. We'll see if I get a terrible headache afterward. The Holy Hand Grenade. See, I love you guys so much. Loved Monty Python. Oh, see, I knew you guys were my people. That makes up for the whole week. We should do a movie watch one night and do that. We won't be able to have our YouTube folks on, or our Facebook folks, but we could totally do it on Rumble. Argentina. Yeah, Don's mom's from Argentina. Well, I mean, she's from heaven now, but when she was alive, she used to be from Argentina. Okay, so where is it? New Zealand. This is the one. Hold on a second. Let me get this pulled up. Oh, wait. I'm going to show you that at the end. Let me set up a different one. If you guys don't watch Chicks on the Right on Rumble, I think they're on YouTube too. You're missing out. These girls are so funny, but they had some really funny TikToks, and I will not get TikTok, so I'm stealing it from their show. But there was one that I just laughed so hard I cried. Hold on. I'm going to add a new scene here. This is screen share. Give me a little second here. Create. Shrink me. No, don't maximize me. Where's crop? There it is. Oh, this Kentucky humidity. God, I'm dying here. Or it's the wine. It could totally be the wine. Okay, let me do a screen share. Screen share. Yes, thank you. It is New Zealand, this one. All right, let me make sure you guys can see this. What? I didn't add it. Hold on. For the love of God. I'm no better at this when I'm not drinking, so essential cookies only. All right, now let me see if you can see it. Okay, yeah, we just got to shrink it, make it a little smaller so it's not hanging over the edge here. Wish I knew how to do this in advance. Wouldn't that be cool? If I had some kind of technical abilities, did a podcast, wouldn't that be so fun? I wish more women would come out and talk like this, myself included. Just do it, man. I have had it with all of the bullshit. And look, I'm a Christian. I love the Lord, but I cuss a little. I cuss more than a little. I'm just done. I'm done being crapped on. I'm done being told every little thing that I think is phobic. I'm not phobic. Phobic is an unreasonable, paralyzing fear of something. I'm not afraid of any of the phobic things, transphobic, whatever it is. I'm not afraid of it. I just think it's stupid. I mean, if you're trans, okay, but this whole, look, I'm a nurse. I've taken care of everybody. I've taken care of new trans surgery patients, which was a big thing years and years ago when I took care of that patient. And I was like, look, you're adult, you do you. I'm just here to do your wound care, because they used to have home health nurses come out and dilate you, dilate your neo-vagina. Names don't bother me at all, and I don't care what people think about me. Yeah, I'm just done. I guess I hit 50 and really stopped giving a crap. No, kindness isn't weakness. I'm just done being crapped on by people and, being made to feel like I have to self-censor and like I can't say obvious truths, and just suck it, man. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. You don't have to like every little thing somebody says. And that doesn't, trying to get that post up, doesn't make it hate speech. It doesn't make me a phobe of any sort. I just have an opinion, and you happen to have a contrary opinion, and that's okay. John's watching too. I had to leave the car a moment. He kept watching. He says, "You're so funny." He's laughing his ass off. Hi, John Bender. I miss you, my friend. I need to get out there to see you guys. I love me some John and Debbie Bender. Well, John's last name isn't Bender, but you know what I mean. All right. So New Zealand, here we go. Ram killed by police officer after elderly couple found dead in paddock. I want you to look at this ram. I don't know if that's the one they killed, but how long does he look like he's been planning that? I mean, he looks like he's got a bad attitude and maybe a homicidal streak. I can say, and maybe it's all rams. I don't know. This probably isn't the ram they killed, because it would be kind of creepy to take a picture of the ram before you killed it. But maybe they had pictures on hand. I don't know. They're like, look, this is, Alexander, our really rambunctious ram that hates us or whatever. I don't know how they got the picture. Nurse Penny, I'm in charge of my house, and my wife just told me I have to go make supper now. Well, kudos to your wife. I hope you make something yummy. I have Don's supper in the fridge waiting for him. Okay, so this ram apparently killed this couple. I don't know how. I don't know if he got hold of a knife or a gun or what. A ram believed to be responsible for killing an elderly couple has been shot dead by New Zealand police. The pair in their 80s, the couple, not the ram, were found dead by their son in a paddock attached to their home. I'm not even going to try to say that name, in West Auckland. The New Zealand Herald reported. He had grown concerned after not hearing from them in the morning. Police attended the scene at 7:30 a.m. local time and confirmed the ram was in the paddock at the time of their visit. The country's force said in a statement, another party at the scene suffered a minor injury after being attacked by this ram. Sorry, my mic's, I got to get a new mic cord. It added that, so he's got a known history of violence. It added that its officers were confronted and approached by the ram. I'm absolutely sure a ram could kill an old couple, and that is so sad, and I'm so sorry for your loss, but I just, what would make a ram so angry? After they assessed the situation, they shot the ram dead. And what must the other rams have thought? Oh my gosh, the cops have showed up and they're killing rams. Dean Burrell, a relative, told the Herald the couple had both lost their lives in a tragic accident. They're good people. They're over 80. They don't deserve this. No, they don't. Everyone's in shock as to what happened. They're very upset. I feel like I was dreaming it, actually. It was a bit of a shock, being told what had happened, and I just didn't believe it. Mr. Burnell's father had phoned him to tell him the news, and he came to the scene to support his cousins and the wider family. An investigation into the deaths is underway, and a postmortem is expected. Okay. Show of hands. Who thinks the ram actually killed this couple? Or do you think some really smart serial killer has somehow manufactured this to look like the ram killed the couple? I think maybe they shouldn't close that investigation just yet. Like maybe you want to look a little harder. I'm trying to get back to the chat here. I wish it would just show one comment at a time, but it won't. So if I don't put your comment up, it's not because I didn't think it was clever or funny. It's because this stupid app won't do it right. I found it. Yeah, I just, hold on, I gotta look here. The males are territorial. We just got takeout churros. Oh, okay, nice. I found you guys are very, wouldn't it depend on the wounds? Yeah, I would guess, but like if you were a really smart serial killer, wouldn't you make it look like the wounds could have come from the ram? See, I've watched too much Dateline. Dawn asked me last night. I love Dateline, and it's not because I have murderous plans. It's because I like to see them catch the bad guy, and it's fascinating to me to see the story unwind and like all the different roads it goes down that weren't the right road. And then when they finally get the person, and it's not even the person you obviously thought it was at the beginning, I'm just blown away by it. I like forensic files too. But Don got a little worried last night, and he's like, "You're not thinking of killing me, are you?" And I thought, silly man, if I was going to kill you, I wouldn't need Dateline to tell me how to do it. I'm a nurse. I can kill you and make it look like a heart attack. But no, I'm not going to kill him, and that's not why I watch it. But I like those shows. I think a lot of women like those shows. Beat him to death with ram skull. Yeah, I'd buy it. Well, yeah, I mean, I buy it. Anything's possible. I wouldn't close the investigation just yet. I mean, unless you've got like ram prints in the bodies or something, I just feel like maybe rule out enemies and, people, neighbors they've been feuding with first before you look, every time on Dateline that they think it's the first guy, so this would be the ram in this scenario, every time they think it's the first guy, it's never him. And it so seems like him. You're like, oh, obviously it was the husband. And it's not. It's always some weird, guy that had a crush on her that she dated 30 years ago, who hired somebody, whatever. So I just think we shouldn't rush to judgment on the Rams. That's all I'm saying. I just want you all to consider that. I know a nurse. I know how to off you undetected. Now sleep good, sweetie. I told him when we first got together, because my first husband cheated on me. I said, look, just divorce me. Don't cheat on me. Because they will never figure out it was me when you're found dead. They'll never figure it out. Now, of course, this will come out, and I won't have killed him. It's going to go right to that. 80-year-old versus ram. 80-year-old stands zero chance. But I mean, like, how long? I was going to say the son, but then you said they'd seen him attack others. To death? Like, I could see a ram hit. Maybe they fell and hit their. I just need more information. Like, I need a whole Dateline. You think they would consider that for a Dateline episode? And they'd have to have some clever title like "Rammed to Death," or I think they should consider it. I mean, that's just me. But all right, next story. Oh, hi, Mr. Gray. What are you doing, buddy? If you guys haven't been following the saga of Mr. Gray, the little stray cat that we have outside that got almost mauled to death by a dog, he is doing really well. Hey, buddy. Don't you mark anything up here. You heard me. I swear to God. Come here. No, he doesn't want to talk to you guys. What are you going to do, right? I can't make him want to hang out with you. The same thing my mom used to tell me. I can't make your brother want to hang out with you. Why? Okay, so here is, this is a take that I really wanted to talk to you guys about because they're going to make us eat the bugs, right? Says Klaus Schwab. And I have no intention of eating the bugs. And a lot of people want us to eat the bugs because eating the animals is cruel because, they're sentient. And, well, now it turns, and I have always said this, I bet money that insects and plants are sentient and that they can scream, but we just can't hear them scream. And so if you're eating a salad, you're killing something that was living, right? It's just a matter of what you're okay with killing. And why should your choice be any more holier than thou than mine, right? If I want to eat, I couldn't kill a cow myself. I mean, maybe if I was really hungry or if I was zombified, you probably could kill anything if you're a zombie, I would assume. But I've always had this feeling that, especially since my near-death experience, that bugs and plants actually have feelings and have some form of consciousness, right? And so when I saw this, I wanted to be like, here you go, Klaus Schwab, screw you. We're not eating the bugs. So do insects feel joy and pain? Insects have surprisingly rich inner lives, a revelation that has wide-ranging ethical implications. I love this. They're making it so you can't even eat the bugs. So you can't eat the cows or the chickens or the deer or... And F you can't eat the bugs either. We're going to get you eating the bugs, but then we're going to take those away too. And you can just starve. In the early 1990s, when I was a PhD student, good Lord, how long is that going to be? Any story that starts within the early 1990s. It's like when I ask somebody, so give me your medical history. Well, when I was a little girl, I'm like, oh my God, no. Pertinent to this incident. So pain is a conscious experience, and many scholars then thought that consciousness is unique to humans. But these days, after decades of researching the perception and intelligence of bees, I am wondering if the Berlin botany professor might have been right, I guess, about them being intelligent. The conventional wisdom about insects has been that they are automatons, unthinking, unfeeling creatures whose behavior is entirely hardwired. But in the 90s, researchers began making startling discoveries about insect minds. It's not just the bees. Some species of wasps recognize their nestmates' faces and acquire impressive social skills. For example, they can infer the fighting strengths of other wasps relative to their own just by watching other wasps fight among themselves. That's a good skill to have, because then you're like, whoa, you see that wasp over there? Total badass. Don't get in a fight with him. That's a good life skill. Ants rescue nestmates buried under rubble, digging away only over trapped and thus invisible body parts, inferring the body dimensions from those parts that are visible above the... That's freaking genius. Flies immersed in virtual reality display attention and awareness of the passing of time. Locusts can visually estimate everything except for termites. They dumb as bricks. You can kill those. Locusts can visually estimate rung distances when walking on a ladder and then plan their step width accordingly, even when the target is hidden from sight after the movement is initiated. I mean, that's pretty stinking smart. And so, oh my gosh. Hold on, I got to go over here and look at your chats because you guys are busy. Onions are alive when you buy them. Yes? Penny, I heard the hard shell of bugs causes cancers loaded with carcinogens. Yes, I have heard that as well. And they have parasites, which I think would be problematic. Yes, Gypsy says, yes, I was just thinking about this. There are various meters to read the screaming of plants if you come near them with pruning shears. Is that true? Gypsy Princess is lying or drinking. Hey, don't do that. AJR, everything is God consciousness, right? We're getting cicada soon. I am not eating the cicada. I can't, you guys, I am so traumatized. Look, you could gash your leg open down to the bone and I could totally handle that. One time a June bug flew in my hair and I nearly, I still have PTSD over that. I don't want to say that because that diminishes what veterans and things. I still have trauma over that. You're just drinking water. Gypsy or Jess says, Gypsy, I talk to my plants. Tennessee says, I'm not eating them. Ants protect and feed on aphids. Well, there you go. Gypsy's just drinking water. Wait, somebody said they had poured wine. Who was it? I missed it. Doggone it. I missed it. It's okay. Chitin, that's it. In insects is indigestible by humans and causes stomach problems. That's what I had read. So I don't even know how we determine if it's in our food. We have our friend, his name's escaping me right now. One of our viewers that doesn't get to watch much because of his job, but he's a chef. And he had told us a while back what ingredients to watch for. I should have written that crap down. I cannot tell a lie. I don't have water in my cup. Hey, Patty. Okay, so there's that one. Then, hold on, we got to the insects feel joy and pain. Hold on. Then we've got frogs are screaming. Crap you didn't know, but you're going to know tonight. I have peach vodka in the fridge. I'm not a big fan of peach. I don't know how I feel about vodka. C. Selkirk says, watch the YouTube video. They lied about veganism, exposing the vegetarian myth. Oh, I know it's a myth. I mean, I've taken care of patients that have been vegans and patients that have been carnivores and keto, and the carnivore keto group are generally healthier. And I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to rip their hair out over me saying that, but it's all right. Don't set yourself on fire. So dismissive. I'm sorry. Okay, frogs are screaming. We just can't hear them. What did I tell you? Some frogs scream at an ear-splitting volume for other animals, but its frequency is inaudible to humans. Don't you wish the crazy lefties had this kind of screaming? Like, it would be super loud, and like maybe it would pierce the ears of other lefties, but that we couldn't hear it. That's I don't know how we, like, can we do some kind of genetic gene splicing vaccine? We could just slip it in with the COVID vaccine and just, jack them up with that. And then we won't be able to hear their screams as we throw them off the bridge while they're trying to block traffic or destroy priceless art. While out in the Amazonian jungle studying frogs, researchers in Brazil noticed something strange. Small leaf litter frogs, that's an interesting name, were arching their backs, throwing back their heads, and opening their mouths wide. They looked like they were screaming, but the scientists could hear nothing. When they recorded the frogs using high-frequency audio recorders, the scientists captured the first documented case of defensive ultrasound being used by amphibians. The scream is a response to predators, according to researchers. It could be a call to arms to attract another animal to attack the predator. I can just see like this happening during a zombie apocalypse. Like instead of the the noises zombies make, it would be this thing where they would ratchet back their head and their jaw would come way open, and it would be this high-pitched scream that only the other zombies could hear. The researchers recorded the distress call on 2 occasions. When they analyzed the sound using special software, they found that it had a frequency range of 7 kilohertz to 44 kilohertz. Humans cannot hear frequencies higher than 20 kilohertz, which are classed as ultrasound. A researcher on the team, Mariana Ritucci Pontes, says she saw frogs exhibiting similar behavior on a different research trip, but didn't have the right technology to record the sound. Bats, whales, rhinos, dogs, pigeons, cuttlefish, all sorts of animals use infrasonic and ultrasonic frequencies to communicate, and humans can hear none of it. Thank God. So the next time you're enjoying a peaceful walk, all around you, there could be a cacophony of noise. Yeah, but if you can't hear it, is there really noise? Probably not. Hold on. Got to see what your comments are because I can't pull them up easily. Hold on. I am jealous of the farming. Okay. AJR says, I severely regret being vegetarian 3 years. I am not giving up meat again. Me neither. Gypsy Princess, Jess, I kind of feel funky today, so I'm resisting the urge to drink. So I show up early and you're already going. It's 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, my friend. But hi. Wolf is here. I miss you, buddy. I read that digging in the dirt and breathing the microbes is better than Prozac. Yeah, I would believe that. There are some spore-based probiotics. I can't take regular probiotics. They make me feel horrible. But spore-based probiotics, spore-based probiotics I can tolerate. So there's that. And I don't know where they come from. They're probably digging them out of dog butts or something. Who knows what kind of supplement I'm taking. Okay. The next one is airplane passenger fined for peeing in a cup. I mean, I kind of appreciate that he didn't pee elsewhere. Here we go. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Oh, stop. Decline. I'm not giving you any money. You guys are horrible. Okay. A passenger has been fined for urinating in a cup during a delay in deplaning after landing at Sydney Airport. The incident, after a 3-hour Air New Zealand flight, he probably had to run in with that ram first and just couldn't hold it anymore. I mean, that was probably scary. Or he killed those people. The timing of this is very suspect. That's all I'm saying. Occurred last December. Oh, well, there's that crap. And the Sydney court fined the 53-year-old man 600 Australian dollars, 395 of our dollars, for offensive behavior. The incident only came. Okay, wait. So they find this guy, but they don't find the protesters? Like, he had to pee. If you, like, let me read the rest of it. The incident only came to public attention on Friday when New Zealand news website Stuff reported that a passenger in the same row, identified only as Holly, said she had reported the behavior to the aircrew. She said she and her 15-year-old daughter were sitting in the aisle and middle seats when the man in the window seat, oh, that is kind of close. Mr. Gray, you cannot eat my cookies. He loves oatmeal raisin cookies. The man whose name was not released was urinating in a cup. Holly said the plane had been on the tarmac for about 20 minutes, waiting for a terminal gate to be allocated, when she heard the unmistakable sound of the passenger urinating in a cup. He was obviously quite drunk. Obviously. She heard the unmistakable sound of him urinating. I just think that's a really funny way to say it. She heard the unmistakable sound of him urinating in a cup. Like she had heard this many times, or like it's something that we would all recognize, you know? Oh, yeah, I've heard that before. The sound, sorry, the mic cord. The sound of somebody urinating into a cup. Maybe don't do that. Sounds gross. Express the dog's anal glands and put it in your coffee. Oh, my gosh. I'll be at the computer shortly. Y'all need a briefing. Jess says, yeah, find the bad guys, not the dude that is pee dancing. Right. I'm like, he probably couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. There was some delay. I think he probably could have looked over to the lady and said, look, I'm going to pee all over myself. Could you guys turn your head? I'm going to pee in this cup. And I would have been like, oh man, yeah, I'm a nurse though. So there's very little that grosses me out. Yeah. I hear that every morning. No biggie. Right. I was just like, they fined him $300, almost $400. Patty, we've talked about this, haven't we? Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know the Mr. Whitbrout story, so when Don's dad died, was it his dad or his mom? Yeah, when his dad died, we went up for the funeral. Are you able to read Huckleberry Finn? Hey, I responded to that comment on YouTube today. I'll think about it. It has the N-word in it quite a bit, and Of Mice and Men had it in there, and I read that one during book club. But Bearded Lily. No, I can't read. So I'll look at it and see how frequent because I won't say N-word every time I see that. I kind of look at the context. For Mice and Men, I decided that it was important to go ahead and say the word out loud because I think it expressed what it was like during that time. And to not have said it would have been to diminish the story. But I will think about that one. Wouldn't he just deny it? Okay, so I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, Don. Okay. Just say Ninja. It's fine. So Don's dad dies. We get up there and we have got, we get a stomach flu. And I'm talking like a horrible stomach flu. And we were staying in the camper out on his dad's property, but there was no water hooked up to the camper. So we were having to run to the house. There's only one bathroom. I mean, we were just so sick. It just was never going to happen. Okay. Maybe I will have to read Huckleberry Finn. So we moved to a hotel. So a family member went and got us some edibles, and I had never done any sort of thing like that ever. And we had them, and I got really messed up. Don got immediately messed up. I didn't get messed up for hours. And then I was out wandering. The point of the story is not that. We get to the funeral home the next day, and we can't find Don. And I mean, we've been like sitting on the toilet with the bucket in our lap, that kind of sick, right? So we can't find Don. We can't find Don. And he's supposed to sing. And so I asked our oldest son, I said, have you seen Dad? And he's like, no. And so we all look, we can't find him anywhere. Well, this is the church that my husband grew up in. His dad had pastored at that church or taught Bible study. I can't remember which. And so we can't find him, and it's getting ready for the funeral to start. And Don finally calls me. And so I answer the phone and I'm like, babe, where are you? He's like, oh my gosh, I need somebody to come help me. I'm in the ladies' room. I'm like, why are you in the ladies' room? How do you know you're in the ladies' room? He said, well, by the sound of the pee. I'm like, what do you mean by the sound of the pee? And he's like, well, lady, not by the shoes or all these other things that you might, the lack of urinals, none of that. And apparently they had remodeled the basement of the church, and what used to be the men's room was now the ladies' room. And Donna's in there with, horrible South End stomach flu. And so he tells me, he says, I can't remember whether he told me this or maybe it was Wolf that said this. He said, well, a woman peeing sounds more like a deluge, and we'd never really discussed this before. And so I did a podcast and I asked people, I said, okay, so you're telling me if I've got you and I can let you listen to different people pee, you're going to be able to tell me whether that's male or female. Let's say sitting, everybody's sitting. Male or female by the sound of the pee. And every guy said yes. I'm like, I don't know if I could tell. Everybody sitting, I don't know if I could tell. But every guy was like, oh yeah, I could absolutely tell. Sitting, absolutely. I would know whether it was a man or a woman. And so then Dodd's like, well, as it goes past the little lips, it makes this noise. So I'm like, oh, I forgot about the meat curtains. That's why. All right, so there's that. Aren't you glad you showed up? Okay. Oh, did I close? No, I didn't. Okay. The New York governor, let's talk about her. Meat curtains, I know. I heard that on a video. I'd never heard that before. I'm going to show you the video I heard that on. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure you can see this. I had you at deluge. Okay, New York governor legalizes human composting after death. Okay, I don't really need to read any more of it than that. This is where we've gotten to. We're now going to start composting humans. Wait, let's look and see what they're going to use it for. Can they use it like in gardening? The departed may not simply be tossed onto compost heaps. Remains must be delivered to a cemetery corporation certified as an organic reduction facility, suitably well, thank God you just can't throw your spouse on the mulch pile. Has to be suitably contained, ventilated, not containing a battery pack, power cell, radioactive implement, or radioactive device. The person or the thing that you're incinerating them with, or I don't know how this works. So this is legal in Colorado and Oregon, Vermont and California, and now New York. In most cases, the deceased is placed into a reusable semi-open vessel containing suitable bedding, wood chips, alfalfa. Just can't. Ideal for microbes to go about their work. At the end of the process, a heaped cubic yard of nutrient-dense soil, equivalent to 36 bags of soil, is produced that can then be used as fertilizer. It's Soylent Green. Soylent Green is people. This is where we are. Just what the absolute hell? Yes, somebody else said it. Hold on, I got to see the comments. Yeah, you all dribble and spray. Didn't think I'd hear Penny say that. Oh gosh. Hold on. Soylent Green. Yeah, absolutely. More dehumanization of poor people. That's who they're going to do it to. Say what? Meat curtains? Wait till I introduce her. Oh my God. I just can't with you guys. I love you all so much. I knew the wine show was going to be a good one, and I've barely made it through the wine. McDonald's does not serve human meat. I'm going to need evidence of that. I mean, I don't eat there, but ugh, can you imagine? There's actually a protein drink, you guys. I saw this when I had my weight loss surgery. Hold on. Here we go. I'm going to find you a picture. Look here. Hold on. I was waiting for my Walmart app to open up. Yes, it was fine. Look here. Have you guys seen this at the grocery store? I don't know if you can see what it says. Soylent. Like, did they not see that movie back in was it the 80s? I've had autistic kids all week. I need wine. Oh, love your heart, sweetie. I've had 4 insane cats. I don't know how we ended up with 4 cats. McDonald's is Illuminati. Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah, I've seen it. Never touched it because, yeah, why? Who would name it that? Who would name a food product Soylent? I want to write to the company and say, hey, you're aware of this movie, right? Because everybody, at least my age, I think, would be aware of it. I'm going to be 54. Capitalism, poor communism, you die. Yeah, this is true. Okay, so I do have one helpful story for you today before we steal some videos from the chicks on the right. Does sell baby food. What? Yeah, the globalists, they would definitely do that. There's a drink in Japan called Pocari Sweat. Like Asian, is it? It's not sweat though, right? Tell me it's not sweat. Because now I got to wonder what part of the body did I got born in a pity. Oh, geez. Okay, so let me share this one. And I've known this for a really long time. And it's nice that the science is starting to actually hit mainstream on this because so many people do still watch mainstream. Hold on, let's fix this. Let's fix it so you can actually see it. There we go. Okay, a keto diet may slow down Alzheimer's, mouse study reveals. And let me tell you the science behind this. I don't even need to read the article. So the science behind this is they've been calling Alzheimer's type 3 diabetes, I think, for a long time, just kind of in research circles. I mean, a long time. Like, I've known about this for 20 years. And what they have found is that people have Alzheimer's, people that have MS, Parkinson's, they start having this inability to be able to use glucose for protein. So if you feed them a carbohydrate-rich diet, the brain kind of starves to death because it can't use those glucose molecules for energy. I think I said for protein, for energy. But what the brain can use other than carbohydrates and glucose for energy are ketones. And ketones come from your body digesting your own fat, and you get that through a ketogenic diet. And you can do a ketogenic diet in such a way that the older person would not necessarily lose weight if you kept the fat content high enough, the calories high enough. We already use a ketogenic diet for kids who have seizure disorders, and it makes a huge difference. And that needs to be medically done. But I mean, if you've got a kid that has a seizure disorder, talk to them and say, hey, I'd like a referral to a dietitian. I hate that they don't do these dietary things before they start a bunch of drugs. But ask for a referral to a dietitian and say, hey, I'm interested in trying my kid on a ketogenic diet. I would be interested to see how that would work for ADHD and autism as well. Because we know that there is difficulty with the brain using certain things for energy. And that's why a keto diet may slow down Alzheimer's, because the brain can actually use those ketones as an energy source where it can't use the glucose as an energy source. So just a really interesting story. I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that. Because I know at our age, we've got parents that are struggling. I would never get my mother to eat a ketogenic diet, but, it is what it is. The drug companies pay the hospitals and the insurance companies, so that's why they go with drugs first. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, babe.
Hi, sweetheart.
How was your day?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Good day.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I love you.
Hi, I love you too.
Your supper is in the fridge.
Thank you, babe.
And there's some tomatoes on the counter.
Hi, cyber people in the Matrix.
Mr. Whitbroat. Hello, Don.
Hello.
Wolf is here tonight. We haven't seen him in forever.
Hi, Mr. Gray.
All right, guys. So the last thing I'm going to show you. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see Mr. Gray? If you guys haven't seen on my channel, there's a video of when he was so sick. And then I think I don't know if I put up but look at his ear. It's healing. It's healing so nice.
Coming along.
Do you see this whole bald spot? That's how big the wound was. So it was like 2.5 inches by 2 inches. I got a job, not my fault. I don't care if you have a job. You be here on Fridays at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, or by God, I'm coming over there.
Where else?
Little old guy hurted. Yeah, he was really, really hurt. He had 12 or 13 wounds. He's missing part of 3 toes. So he's just got these gangly toenails that hang out because they can't pull back into the sheath into the toe. McBurgers for dinner. No, I made him red beans and rice with Polish sausage and sliced tomatoes. Pretty nice, huh? I may get some yet. Patty says, get your guitar.
Yeah.
We were working on, hey guys, if you watch book club, there was a story in the, there was a song reference in the book that we're reading called Abide in Me. And so Don and I looked it up, and Don's been working up that song. So I'll have to have him do that song for you guys. It's a really pretty little tune. So you're keeping him? Yes, we're suckers, man. If I turn him loose back outside, he's going to get killed. I mean, that other cat's already trying to kill the other stray out there. Went to Papua New Guinea in the 90s. Tribe chief wanted me to procreate with his daughter. I didn't. It's very prehistoric. There, you're lying, right? Are you lying? I can't know for sure. You guys are so serious sometimes. You're lying, right? You know, there's cannibals there. Somebody ate Joe's Uncle Bosie. Joe Biden's Uncle Bosie got eaten by cannibals. That's why they never found his body. Joe said it's so we know it's true. I'm here because you had foot surgery. Ever step on a nail? Try walking on one for 2 years. Bless your heart. I'm so glad your surgery went well, though. And thank you for emailing me about that. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to show you. This is the last thing we have. Uncle Joe's uncle was a late night snack. Slappy T, you were there. Really? Okay, that's a story I want to hear. The movie based on true stories, The Fourth Kind, about actual alien contact in Alaska. Hold on, I got to write that down. I love watching alien stuff. The Fourth Kind. I got it. What was the other movie I said we should watch together? Monty Python. We need to do a Monty Python movie night. So get copyrighted on that one. Wish a stray cat would adopt me. Oh. Well, if you get your ass kicked by a dog and get severely mauled and lose 3 toes, you'll probably end up getting adopted by us. So there's an angle for you. No, there's aliens, there's a border. I agree. I think it's kind of arrogant to think that there aren't aliens. Like, why would there only be life on this planet? I just have always thought it was a possibility. And I had not a UFO. What do they call them now? What do they call them? They don't call them UFOs anymore. Unidentified UAPs, aerial projection. Is that what they call them? I can't remember. When I was in college, and my 2 college classmates remember this. No, not Life of Brian. I don't like that one. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. When I was in college, we were going home to my friend's house for the weekend, and I went to college. UAP, thank you. And we were going to college in Stephenville, Texas at Tarleton State University, which is part of A&M. And we were driving to her house. I cannot remember whether it was in Arlington or Garland, Texas. Phenomenon. Thank you. I had this feeling like something bad was going to happen. And so I wrote my mom and dad a note and let them know that I love them. If anything happened to me, just I want you to know that I love you. And I left that in my room in case something happened to me. It looks like my sound is pegging high. If I'm blowing your ears out, you guys, let me know like when it happens, not at the end of the show. And so we were driving, and there were these 3 flat triangle shapes that came from the left. There were railroad tracks, and this was up in the sky. They came from the left. The car kind of stalled out and stopped. What is that noise? What is that? Oh, he's moving his car back because he's going to put new brakes on it. He drives a diesel. I knew. I was like, what is that loud noise? So it came and it stopped right over and there was nobody on this road. I can't remember if it was a 2-lane or a 4-lane road. And it came and it stopped in front of us over the electrical lines. And then, and they just stopped. And then they went backwards at this high rate of speed for a distance. And then they came back forward and really, really fast, and they disappeared. And I had always thought maybe I just dreamt that, or, that wasn't like I'd imagined it or something. And then one day I decided to reach out because those two are married that I rode home with, Bettina and Mark. And I said, hey, do you guys remember this? I mean, I remember this from college. And they were like, oh, yeah, I totally remember it. So I'm not crazy. It did actually happen. And I've gone through Project Blue Book to see if there were any other sightings around there at that time and couldn't find anything. But interesting. So I was part of a book project, and I cannot remember the name of the book now, but my friend Barbara Mango. So if you look up Barbara Mango, she's got a book out there on anomalous experiences. And so in that book, we talk about this link between people who have near-death experiences, people who see aliens, past life, that kind of experience, out-of-body experiences, and how they have certain personality and character traits in common. Anyway, I contributed some to it for my near-death experience. I did not see you were here. Here I am. Fridays at 4:30 Eastern. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this video. It's the end of the Chicks on the Right video. And Chicks on the Right, they are on YouTube and they're on Rumble. I can't remember where else they're on, but they had these funny videos, and I won't get TikTok, so I couldn't. Hold on, I'm going to fix the screen. I couldn't get to the video on TikTok because I'm not going to have my data stolen. So I stole it from the Chicks, but I'm going to plug the Chicks. So I hope the Chicks will think this is okay. I probably should use their whole screen in case they decide to go wide here. Hold on. And there we go. Better. All right. Let me start this for you. So the first one, I think, is the jean underwear. And I'm telling you, I was absolutely dying. Okay, wait a minute. We don't have sound. Hold on. What the devil? Try it again. Doggone it. Also share audio. Yes, that's on. Let me know if you guys can't hear this. There we go.
I get to do these because they are talks. I would just like to remind everybody to visit mypillow.com/chicks.
Totally.
Because that is who sponsors My Pillow Talks.
And get some slides. Get some slides, you guys. Okay,
They're
so which one?
50 for the white ones.
Which one is first? Are we going to do the shorts first?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, I found what Mock and I are going to wear for our meet and greet. Are you guys ready?
I have not agreed to this.
I think we like to kind of sort of coordinate, maybe not match entirely because we're not matchy because we're not 13, you guys. But
except when it happens on accident.
It happen all the time on accident. We do match a lot. But I thought this would be perfect. I mean, these are great, and they're at Walmart. They're very inexpensive, so we should get these.
Great news! The bigger size of
Can
my
you hear
jammies came in today. If this XL doesn't fit me, I am calling the police. The fact that this is an XL is criminal. Hi, 911. One wrong move, and you are going to see what I had for breakfast. One wrong move, and you're going to think we're at Arby's. I just can't stop thinking about like the product developers at Walmart when they're like sitting around at the table and they're like, you know what's really going to blow their tits off? Honestly, you know what I do love is just like the feeling of metal teeth on my teeth. Zippers like going this way because I had to move my meat curtains over to this side so they would fit comfortably. You better work. The metal zipper up my butt crack is like starting to ferment. I can feel the zippers here because I need to like get some air. Tell me how my lips are supposed to breathe with no air. Walmart. Good day. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You gave me a UTI. Guys, great news.
Who wears this crap? Who wears that?
Oh my God.
My lips supposed to breathe with no air. But that's where I got meat curtains from. She said she had to move her meat curtains to the side because of those panties. Oh gosh. They're so and I think this woman is so brave for doing a video with those things on. I mean, I don't know if it's like maybe it's a sign of mental illness. Boy, that's tacking. Maybe it's a sign of mental illness. I don't know, but this is on TikTok. I don't know what the lady's name is, but oh my gosh, I absolutely died. Okay, hold on. Let me see. What
I died. I love that so much.
Honestly, I mean, who's buying that? Bruce is like, I like it. Bruce wants us to wear them. Bruce votes yes. Okay, Bruce.
I
We
just
took that
don't
into
think that's a good
consideration. We'll
idea.
think about it. We'll totally think about it. Okay. And then my other DD is I want to do this with, it would have to probably be Linus, our cow.
There's no way
Linus.
you're going to do this because you would never allow this mess in your house. I know you.
Because the first thing I said, because my husband loves this account, he loves it so much, and I'm like, you should totally do this. But the only problem is, like, how does he keep the cow from crapping in the house? Because listen, they are uncontrollable when it comes to the poopiness, you know. So this cow has pooped in his house,
And they don't like crouch or anything. They just let it. They
they
just let it out.
go, and it splatters.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
so this is I'm just being honest, and so I don't know how this doesn't happen. I mean, it's a beautiful cow, and I would do this too, but there is no controlling the poopiness.
No.
He's eating lunch with them. It's lunch. It's Bruce, you guys. His name is Bruce. He doesn't care. He's going to eat everything.
Bruce.
Like,
Bruce. No.
I love him. He's like, please give me the whole entire thing of mayonnaise. Would like to partake.
My God. I just keep thinking about how expensive all that food is.
It's so true. He has one where he you can see the account, but he has one where he actually
God.
he goes jogging with him. He brushes his teeth with a giant toothbrush.
Oh my God. And he eats it. Like
He eats everything.
Oh God.
He eats everything. They do. They want to eat everything. I don't think people realize how cows are. They're like gigantic dogs. They want to eat all the things.
They do wanna eat all the
Look.
things.
Oh, look. I would like to have some of those, Dad. Thank you. Look at their tongues.
Oh my God.
He's like, what else is on here that I can eat? Look at the mess. Anyways, it's Bruce, you guys. You should check out Bruce.
Oh my gosh. That was amazing.
Yeah.
All
There
right.
you go.
It is time for some talks now. I have to say, remember when we played that clip of Sage Steele, who posted it voluntarily, like her embarrassing moment with Dana?
Okay, you guys, this one is absolutely hysterical. And this woman has the best attitude about the whole thing. I'm going to see if I can, hold on, let me see if I can adjust this so you guys can see it better. Let me try this. Hold on. We'll just do it here. Let's see if we can, hopefully it'll come up right in the middle there. I'm not sure how that's going to work. We'll try it. Okay. And go.
Dana White, where she mistook him for Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And she was just like, you know what? I screwed up. I'm going to put this out there and it's embarrassing AF, but I'm still going to own it.
Totally.
This woman reminded me of that. And this is a woman who, in the middle of being interviewed on a podcast, her entire wig falls off.
Oh, no.
And her reaction is the greatest thing ever.
People be like, God can't disappoint you. You know, he's a good father. He is, you know, and he has the best intentions for you. His plans are to prosper you.
Yeah.
Bring you to an expected end, but your life does not.
Oh
my.
Hold on, I'm going to replay it. I just want to get it the right size.
Oh my God. Bruh. We gonna keep this? Nigga. I can't even reach him, bro.
Look at him.
This is beyond embarrassing. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
It gets better and better.
I mean, he's like dying. He is dying.
I'd be like, wait a minute. Everybody
Okay, wait, hold on. We're going to go back a little bit because I was jacking with it.
My God. Bruh. We gonna keep this? Nigga. I can't even reach him, bro.
Look at him.
This is beyond embarrassing. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh.
It gets better and better.
I mean, he's like dying. He is dying.
I'd be like, wait a minute. Everybody
He puts it right back on.
Okay, and watch, because she's going to get right back on task and start talking about God. It's so funny. Hold on.
so embarrassed. No, golly, that was a good moment.
Wait till she gets to the end. Just wait, listen.
My camera. Let me see what I'm looking like.
Oh God, I can't take it no more. It was a serious moment.
It was so serious. It must have been all that laughing I was doing. I didn't pin it down.
Why you did
I hate this for me.
I love it because I'm gonna keep it.
You gonna keep it? I hate this for me.
I'm gonna keep it. He's just singing like this funny.
Y'all really do have a lot of hair.
Yeah, she really do.
I do. Traveling, you need something for the moment. I couldn't even reach it. And that's sometimes what the Lord do. You know? He just set up things where you just don't know. But you trust the moment. You gonna keep this?
I'm gonna keep it.
Jesus.
I mean,
Jesus,
she
help
set it
us.
up by talking about God.
Tell me when you press upload file.
She set it up by talking about God, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna take that wig off your head."
Oh my gosh. She was such a good sport. Oh my gosh. Just kidding. Okay, see, so I can relate because when I had my gastric sleeve surgery, I lost so much weight. It wasn't fast, but I lost so much weight. And my hair was falling out crazy. So I was wearing these things called toppers, and you can actually pin a topper into your existing hair. It's got like a clip in it. And I was so thin you could see my scalp. And so I wore them. And so I totally get it. Because we would go to something, like I would have to speak somewhere about my near-death experience or whatever. And it was just so frustrating to have this really thin hair that you could see through and see my scalp. And then I learned about toppers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have to be self-conscious anymore. And I can, it's such a thing for a woman, because my hair's long, and for it to just almost all fall out. I have to show you guys a picture sometime of how bad it fell out. I had almost no hair left. It was long, but it was just super thin. And so the toppers helped me get through it until I got my hair back. And so I totally get it. And the thing is, it's really convenient. So if you're going to a thing, you can fix it the night before and then just throw it on and it's ready to go. But yeah, a lot of Black women wear wigs, and because it's a pain in the ass to do their hair for them. And so they use weaves and wigs and things like that to to rest their hair from whatever they would have to do to it to fix it. So I totally get it. The Lord gave her a lot of views with this. I think yet the Lord totally has a sense of humor. He made me. I mean, you can't deny a sense of humor because I'm a hot mess, man. I'm doing wine and oatmeal cookies for dinner doing a podcast. I mean, that's messed up. It was a really hard week. But the wine is super good. I missed having a Malbec. Hi, Mr. Gray. Hi, buddy. Yes, I hear you. Well, you can come over? Yeah, come on. You can come see everybody. Come here. You can't walk on the computer, though. Oh, fatness. Come here. Oh, hi, buddy. Hi, little buddy. Isn't he sweet? If God didn't have a sense of humor, what? I missed that one. Oh, son of a gun. I hate that you can't roll that back. If God didn't have a sense of humor, explain Biden. I do think that's probably explained by evil. She was incredible. I hope I react like that. She just was such a good sport, and it's so hard to be a good sport when you're embarrassed. She had to have just been mortified. But, I think any person who's ever had hair loss or Black ladies or, there's other women who wear wigs. It's not a big deal. But, it really is a woman. I didn't think it would bother me. Okay, so years and years ago, hi, buddy. Years and years ago, I was on a medication for vasculitis, and it caused my hair to fall out. It was a chemotherapy drug, essentially. And are you getting down? All right, it's good to see you. And my hair was falling out like crazy, so I was wearing wigs, not just toppers, right? Isn't he handsome? He's purple in some spots from the wound treatment that we did, but I like me a purple cat. It works out. And so I was wearing just different wigs. I'm like, I didn't think it would bother me, right? And so I would wake up and there would be clumps of hair on the pillowcase, and it just was really, really bumming me out. And so I thought, you know what? This is my opportunity to have whatever great hair I always wanted. And I mean, I don't know, y'all ever see crazies lose so badly, like the ADL and these massive companies losing money for their actions? Yeah. So I was wearing these wigs. I was running an after school program at the time, and I would have like a red shoulder length bob one day, and then the next day it would be like a curly dark haired wig that was longer. And so one of my friends their kids went to my program, he comes in, he's like, I just love your hair. You just have so much variety with how you fix it. And I said, TJ, they're wigs. What the heck? How could I go back and forth between these colors on a daily basis? And he couldn't believe. He said, oh my gosh, really? Well, there was this cop in town, and he'd always just been really dismissive. We lived in a small town. Always been really dismissive of me, right? Well, when I started wearing the wigs, he started noticing me, and I was really offended by it. I'm like, you jerk! You didn't want anything to do with me when I just had normal human hair. But now that I've got this hot, sexy wig on, now you want to talk to me. So one day I'm driving down the street by the railroad tracks, and he's pulling up this side road, and he sees me. He knows my car, and he waves, right? I whip my wig off my head out the window, and I'm spinning it around, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? With a bald cue ball head underneath. The look on his face. Don's laughing. It was so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, and this was the last thing. I'm going to tell you guys this, and then we're going to be done because we've been on here for an hour and a half now. So I can't remember what video I was watching, but it reminded me of this. So when my oldest child, David, was in, I want to say middle school, he came home one day and they had, oh, thank you, Jess. When he came home one day and they had, I think he was in 5th grade and he was going to be in 6th grade next year, and they had open lunch for 6th graders. Yeah, she's been insane all day. Hey, what's your name? So he came home and he said, they're not going to have open lunch anymore for middle schoolers. And I said, why? And he's, if your kids are listening, they probably shouldn't be. I'll give you a minute. Okay. So I said, why? And he said, well, apparently they caught 2 kids in the bathroom having oral sex. And I just looked at him. I said, do you know what that is? And he said, yeah, I think so. And I said, okay, what is it? And he said, talking dirty about sex. So cute. I just wanted to let him believe that. But I thought I would rather he hear it from me than anyone else. And I can put a spin on it that might keep him from engaging in those activities sooner than he should. And so I said, no, baby, that's not what it is. Do you want to really know what it is? And he said, well, yeah. And so I sit him down and I explained the whole thing to him, right? And I explained to him that the fluids that the human body produces in such situations are snot-like. I said they're like snot, and they come out with force, kind of like a projectile. And you don't know when it's going to happen. And he wouldn't eat peas because he said, when you eat peas, it feels like you're biting into them and their brains are squirting out. And so I knew this was the route to take with this child. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's so disgusting. Why would that's like using your body like a carnival? And I said, I know, sweetheart. I don't understand. Right? The same night my daughter comes in, and she's in 2nd, maybe 3rd grade at the time. And the other person doesn't know Wolf. And so my daughter comes in and she says, Mom, and we've been in the room with the door closed having this conversation. This was not a conversation for the younger ones. So she comes into the room and she says, Mom, how are babies made? And I said, do you really want to know? And she says, yes. So she sits down on the bed. She's wearing a Holly Hobby nightgown. She pulls her little knees up. You know how little girls do. Pulls her knees up in the nightgown. And she's got her hands on her knees and she's listening, right? And I said, when a man said, when a man and a woman love each other very much and they've been married for 5 years and they have $10,000 in the bank, sometimes they decide that they want to have a child. And I said, I explained the anatomy of it. The man's penis goes into the woman's vagina and there's a fluid that comes out and it's very much like snot. Sorry, babe. And Don's just making quiet, objectionable comments in the background. She's got 3 kids. I didn't ruin her. And so I said, explain the whole thing to her, right? How it works. And, the egg is fertilized and plants into the uterus and, a baby grows. And she says to me, her answer to this is, oh, wow. I guess I could see where people would be willing to do anything to have a family. And I'm like, yeah. And she says, so you've done it 3 times, right? I said, yes, I have. And that was the end of the conversation. Yes, I have. I've done it 3 times. Jess says, no, he's never going to want to do it ever. That's brilliant. You guys are welcome to use that. Gypsy says, I wish I'd been that creative teacher. It helps to be a nurse. Jess says, I'm dying, Benny. Explain the finances first. Good one. Yes, once they've been married 5 years and they have $10,000 in the bank. Oh my gosh, this is why y'all keep me. I take shit 40 more miles. Gypsy's only done it twice. I've only done it 3 times. Mr. Whitbroat and I just sit and look at each other. That's all that happens. That Friday night sex stuff we talked about at the beginning of the show. Just pretend you didn't hear that. Oh my gosh, we shouldn't have wine. That's all I got. Only 3, Wolf. Shut your pie hole, man. It's none of your beeswax. Oh my god. Wolf's done it once that he knows of. Oh my goodness. That's just good stuff. That poor lady's wig coming off. That guy was just dying. Oh gosh, that's all I've got for you tonight. That's right. Damn good show. How do they do that? I haven't watched the Hodge Twins in a while. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's all I've got. Hour and 40 minutes. I'm just so tired of doing the news. I mean, I did something topical. I talked about the guy setting himself on fire and the people going off the bridge. Did you ever look into bridge? I don't know what that means. Keeping it real on Friday afternoons. I encourage all of you to have some intimate time staring at your loved one tonight. Don't have sex unless you want a baby, because that's how that happens. I feel like a lot of young people don't realize that these days. They're like, we need to have legal abortion up until the 9th month of pregnancy. But suddenly now the women are saying, we're not going to have sex until they legalize abortion again. And I'm like, it's not illegal for one thing. But I'm like, you realize that would have solved your problem in the first place, right? They get mad if you say that to them on Twitter. Oh my gosh. We did have so much fun. Maybe I was going to follow with a second glass of wine, to be honest. Bridge is the new DEI tactic. Oh, Lord. I did not know about that. I'm going to have to look that. There's some other new thing that I don't want to know that I'm going to have to know, right? It's that you will adopt DEI or else tactic. DEI never went away, just renamed. Oh, yeah, no, we know it didn't ever go away. Pushes this BS. I'm over it. I'm one more glass. I'm not doing one more glass on the air. What are you, crazy? I'll probably get naked. Nobody wants that. I told you guys a couple weeks ago about the time on my, what was it, my 23rd birthday? I think I told you guys this, where I flung my bra out the window on accident when we were driving down the road in Topeka. But that cop brought it back, and I was so glad because it was a nursing bra. I didn't nurse the baby after I was drinking. And it was a one-time thing. Just stop judging me. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my gosh. Yeah, keep your bra on. Well, at least until the end of the show, right? The first thing I do is like, oh my gosh, get that thing off. Don came home the other day, and our oldest son, Donnie, bought a motorcycle, and he was coming over, and I was like, well, damn it. I was having pantsless Thursday or whatever day it was. Now I've got to put pants on, and I was so upset. And I did. I put pants. I even threw on a bra. Okay, wait, let's see where we are. Don't have sex with a woman you wouldn't keep. I don't follow my advice. Yeah, well, there you go. Don't have sex with a woman that you don't want to raise a child with. It's easy advice. This is awesome. Best story ever. Yeah, I'm not going to tell the whole thing. I know you guys have heard it so many times. All right, that's all I've got. I was thinking, we're trying to finish up this book, Storming Heaven or Heaven Stormed, and I feel like it's never going to end. But I had a few comments on YouTube that they're really enjoying it. Because I had told Don, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the last 3 or 4 chapters, however many's left, and then I'm just going to sum it up for him. I can't bring myself to finish it. And I'm not like that. I always finish a book. And thank you, Tennessee woman. And so I was going to do that. And then those 2 people were like, this book has been such a blessing to me. Thank you so much for reading it. And so then I thought... well, what I could do is do 2 recordings. I know, right, Summer Rose? I could do 2 recordings, like not live streams, just recordings of me finishing those chapters and just throw those up. And then whoever wants to finish listening to them can listen to them, but we don't have to have a live stream with it. It's just, it could have been 10 chapters less and it would have been a good book. It's just so long. And I know one of the people that's really enjoying it said it's not really any longer than any of the other books. It's just that you've commented a lot through the book, which is true because it's a near-death experience book. But I feel like I commented just as much through John Burke's book. And that thing didn't last for freaking ever. It's just so long and it's so detailed. And you guys, I am not, thank you, Slappy. I am not, like if I'm reading a book just by myself, oh, see, Margaret loves it too. God love her. I will finish it. I'll probably just throw up 2 videos where I just finish reading it though and not do live streams. And then I'll probably throw them up before Wednesday if I can. And then Wednesday we'll do a live stream on something else. It just feels really, really long. And I feel like it's never going to be over. I'm one of those people, like if I'm reading a novel just to myself, you know how you'll be reading a novel and you're really into it. And then they'll start with this description, right? So this person, this person in this house, the person that's pulling up to the house is planning to kill the person inside the house, right? And so the person pulling up to the house is like, it says, the writing is like, I looked up the cobblestone path and could see shoots of grass growing up between each of the stones, showing years of neglect and disarray and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God, just get on to the killing. There we go. Yes, except she didn't fasten anything. Just tossed it over one side. Yeah, I put a bra on. Well, now, Wolf, the thing is, when you get to be my age, you got to wear a bra with a little structure to it. You can't just you have to have an underwire because, these were working girls at one time. I nursed 3 babies. So they got to have a little help to get back up there saluting the sun. So if I just threw it on, you would just see this formed. It would be a mess. I do interject a lot in the book. I do. I don't normally when it's not a near-death experience book, but I know that can be frustrating for people who just want to hear the book. But I got choked up a lot in this book too. I don't think it's been a bad book. I just think it feels long. But anyway, I may just do that. We'll see. I don't know. I may not do that. I just keep you guessing. Praise the sun. I remember when I met Mr. Whitbroden. I was 40 when we met. And I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. I was 40 when we met. We went on these dates and stuff. And And I started getting worried because wasn't 20, right? And I remember thinking, yes, Dean Koontz is bad with the descriptions. It's torturous. I always skip it, but I like his books. I just skip those parts. And I remember thinking, it might feel long because of the over explanation of detail. That's exactly why it feels long. And every detail is really, really explained. It's not just a few, it's everything. But I remember thinking that at some point I'm going to have to get naked in front of this man and the lies will be told. They'll be outed, I always tell people, I'm like, my boobs are going to hit my knees and he's going to be like, you lied to me. They wouldn't actually hit my knees. My belly, maybe. I'm just kidding. I did interject a lot in the book. I've not read it before, just heard it through John Burke. This isn't a John Burke book. This is Randy Kay. It might feel long because of the over explanation of detail. Yeah, I agree. That's it. I would like to have a little bit left to the imagination. That's a good way of putting it, Wolf. Jess says the most honest minds are like yours, no agenda. You just talk to us like normal people. Well, I mean, don't you feel like I was telling Don the other day, I said, like I watch Red Pill 78 and I watch The Chicks on the Right and I watch a lot of shows on Rumble, Salty Cracker. And I said, what the difference is with us, with real people. We'll just call us real people as opposed to, your Tom Brokaw's, and I don't even know who the people are now, Lester Holt, all them. I can't stand Lester Holt. They can't do their job unless they have a script. And all the rest of us, Zach, me, all of us that are on alternative media, we don't need a script. We can just get on and talk to you about the news and present the stuff to you and let you make up your own mind. I don't need to spin a narrative. I don't need to write things out so that I say the right things. I can tell you about what's going on. I can tell you what I think about it, and you can make up your own mind about it. And we can do that for 2 freaking hours or more without a script. And it's just amazing to me that these people that are these great talents in broadcasting aren't great talents. They're reading everything. Everything has been written for them, and they're reading it to you. Well, I mean, any goofball can read. I've proven that. The difference is it isn't fake, right? Debbie says John Burke, Randy Kay, and Dale Black, and others are all linked through their work. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I knew that John Burke wrote wrote a review for Randy's book. Fake can go see the front door immediately. All of it, absolutely. Slappy says God gave us breasts to play with like toy trains made for kids, but the men play with them. My husband would agree. $6,000 will make him happy. And many others, through NDEs and ministries. Yeah. It's like reading the news and deconstructing the BS. That's it. I'm like, just give me the facts. I can make up my own mind. I don't need you to tell me what to think about it. I don't need you to spin the story. Tell me that some guy set himself on fire and he had a 2,300 page manifesto, and I don't need to have it spun to me like this was some kind of noble act or this was somehow perpetrated mental illness on this person by Donald Trump. I mean, you don't know any of those things. Just tell me the details and then I'll make up my own mind. This person is crazy. That's what that problem is. Only crazy people write 2,300 word manifestos and then set themselves on fire in public or in private even. That is not a sane mind. I don't need it spun. I don't need it blamed on anybody. I just need to know what happened. And so, I try to give you that here, but I just had been getting really burned out on the news. And every once in a while we try to do a show where we just kind of hang out like we're friends, because we are. This week, drink a little wine and eat some cookies. I mean, come on. So if you don't subscribe to them, Chicks on the Right, they're on YouTube and Rumble and probably other platforms, and they're wonderful. Robert Goivea is also good. Red Pill 78 is wonderful if you're looking for channels to watch. Salty Cracker's got a mouth on him, but I love him. He's good for just kind of venting your steam. It's like reading the news and dude just wanted to set the world on fire. Whiskey neat. I gotcha. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. I'm going to go eat real food with Mr. Whitbroat. Otherwise, I'm going to be stupid all night. Who wants that, right? Jess says it's really good for all of us to just connect like this. Yeah, I agree. Best medicine and Cool Frog. I've not had a chance to watch Cool Frog's shows yet. Let's have more wine. But I will check Cool Frog out. He's on my list. It's making sure. G.W. Jones says salty, sleazy chicks. They all have the same chicken. Flavors. Love salty. I love salty too because he's the pendulum hitting the other side. You know how they say this, that over time the pendulum swings, and so it'll be left for a little while and then it'll swing back right and correct itself usually. Salty is like the pendulum beating the hell out of the wall. It's like so far the other side, but it gets a lot of your frustration out. Is doing his Friday show like this tonight. He's a good person like you. Oh, well, I'll check him out. All right, guys, that is all I've got for you. I will see you 10:30 Eastern time for book club on Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to read the book ahead of time and put the videos out or not. We'll just decide when we get there or before then. So just watch for those. And we're here at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. And that's all I've got for you. Love you whole big bunches. Nurse Penny, out.